Hello, I hope you're great and having a fabulous day. So I thought this week's video will be on the amazing lymphatic system. I've been teaching it a lot and personally applying a lot of these habits to my daily routine, and I just think it's so incredible, this body. So I think it's a system that is not spoken about a lot and has direct effects with our skin's health and particular specific skin conditions. So I just wanted to touch on it today and talk about a few really simple hacks for your lymphatic system. So let's start with what is it? So your lymphatics is simply part of your circulatory system, but it's a waste disposal system. It's quite interesting fact, the lymphatic, we have 3 times the amount of lymph in our body than blood. However, there is no heart. It doesn't have a physical pump that keeps it circulating. It relies on us. And it's very common that we make it stagnant and get blocked up. And that's where we start getting a lot of health and skin problems. So how does the lymphatics work? It's a draining system. So in all our joints in our body, we have lymph nodes. So they're like drains, so it pumps around the body. And the 2 main ways it pumps is through movement. So us moving our body throughout the day. And the second one is simply through diaphragmatic breathing. That's slow inhale, exhale, but through the diaphragmatic space, not through the upper chest region. This is stress, this is healing. So this will also be a pump for your lymphatics. So if you think about your day, if you're constantly on the go, if you talk a lot like I do, you naturally are breathing more superficial. So it's not until I focus on my breath, I nearly have to cue it to help me. So I'm going to teach you a few little tricks that I've learned to help me to be more functional and keep my lymph happy. So if your lymph system is a little bit like the sewage system of your house, so if you consider your house, it's constantly filtering. So it's filtering out toxic waste. It's working with your immune system. So if you've got blockages, you're also going to find you're not going to recover well from sickness, or there's a higher chance you're going to get reoccurring infections and colds and flus and viruses. You're also going to get a lot of skin problems. So anything with inflammation and lymph are connected. So we want to make sure that you have a healthy lymphatic system. So if you're seeing puffiness, particularly anywhere in the face or the lower body, that is definitely lymph. And you might also notice it around lymph nodes, blockages and so forth. So sometimes I'll see it in people's faces. They just have, I used to be a lot more puffy in my face. I used to get fluid a little bit at the end of the day around my ankles. I don't get that anymore. I used to find that a lot of skin problems, so rashes, irritations, anything that's flaring up the skin with heat, that's also attached to the lymphatic system. So if your lymph doesn't have a drain and you have a job that you have to sit down for a period of the day, let's talk about some things that clog it up, and then we'll talk about some simple remedies. So firstly, what clogs it up? Yes, sitting. So a simple remedy for that is going to be creating movement snacks. So trying to get up throughout the day, so you're not having nearly a task or a drill that it gets you up. So when you go to the bathroom, go and have a job where you go and tidy something or do some star jumps, or I have a little rebounder. So after my 3 meals a day, I rebound for 10 minutes. And while I'm rebounding, I'm often listening to a podcast or something for work that I'm trying to learn. And when I'm moving, I have better thoughts. I can hold on to information really well. And sometimes I just think of things. I'm like, oh, did I remember to do that? Or it sort of clears my brain as well. But it's moving my lymph. A big thing with movement is a lot of people don't realize, but these collarbones here, the top and the bottom, that needs to be unblocked before you are going to get a lymph release. So if you just, let's say, start exercising, but you don't unblock the lymphatic duct, so the duct that it extracts, so it goes through these nodules through your body, and then it goes through the lymphatic duct up here. So up in the thoracic collarbone area. So you're wanting to unblock it. So how you can simply do that is with your hands. So I cross my hands like this, and in the morning I just pump about 5 pumps are working along the collarbone. So that pumping action is unblocking the valve. One of my teachers explains it's like a traffic jam. You don't want to just pile all the cars into the jam, and you're going to unblock the jam first, and then you can get the lymphatics moving. And then I sometimes do my capillaries, which is in my armpit area, and then I'll grab a dry skin body brush and I'll work it short up into all the joint areas, always working towards the heart. You can't really go wrong, but a biggest tip is just unblocking this. And if you're sitting at a desk all day, this is a nice way to actually get that lymph pumping as well as breathing through the diaphragm. With breath, a lot of us are not so strong with nose breathing. A lot of you know I do treatments where I do wrap the lips a lot and try and encourage you while you're in here to do breath work and use that nose. My teachers say the nose is for breathing, the mouth is for eating. But often when I talk all day for a job, I find that if I tape my mouth, so I just put a little bit of rock tape or mouth tape just there on my lips when I sleep, it will actually force me to use my nose the whole evening. And that just trains my brain to breathe better through the day. So I can talk, and then I can close my, and it's retraining a better habit. Yeah. So mouth taping is really interesting. I play on and off with it. I find if I tape my mouth, I wake up before my alarm clock at 5 a.m. If I don't tape, I'll wake up to it. So it's definitely a difference for me. So that's interesting. So we've got dry skin body brushing, movement stacks, foods that clog up the lymph. The main one is the protein in dairy, particularly cows' dairy products. It seems really bad. The fat isn't so terrible. It's the protein. It's mucousy. It seems to block it up. No surprise, processed foods, sugars, chemicals, they're all going to block it up, and they're hidden in everything. So foods that you want to be eating is a lot more of fibrous vegetables and chia seeds and real food. That's all going to get it moving. So that's all great. Another big thing to consider would be herbs. So I've just started on this blend. It's called Lymphatics. So this has different herbs that clean the blood and support the lymph. Another thing I've been combining it with, this is a side note, is phase 2 of a little bit of a anti-parasite kill off. So it's also helping to work with my lymphatics. So this is cleaning my lymph, and this is killing off any overpopulations of parasites from water and foods and travel and things like this. So that's kind of new that I've added in. Water. If you're not drinking enough water, your lymph is going to be quite thick. So you need to kind of keep hydrated. So consider putting the healthy salts, the Himalayan or the Celtic salt in your water for the day, and making sure you're getting adequate amount of water for your body. So a minimum of 8 to 12 glasses between meals. Do not dilate that precious stomach acid at your mealtime. Have a little break from the water around meals. Sip between meals, and that sometimes needs to be cued and reminded because we forget to drink enough. So we've got our lymphatic system is like our waste system. So from a skin point of view, if you're seeing any rashes, eczema, flare-ups, your lymph needs more support because it's working too hard. Another thing I see a lot is puffiness. So if you're getting isolated puffiness in the eyes, that could be lymph, particularly kidneys. The body's not cleaning the liver. Some of those detoxification organs need a little bit more focus, or TLC. You might also notice puffiness. We didn't talk about tight clothing. So if you have clothing, they show like bras that have a wire, it seems to really cut off the lymph, and we get a lot of problems in the breast health. So that's a big thing to consider, is wearing different bras that don't have that tight cutoff. If you're seeing when you take your clothes off lines, you know the lymph has been blocked in those areas. So socks that are too tight, you'll get a sock line. That's a telltale sign that the lymph isn't moving. So considering trying to wear looser fitting clothes as often as possible, and also consider, like, when you're at least asleep, trying not to be wearing anything tight or restricted at all. So you're getting that lymphatics at least, it's not being congested, because a lot of us live in active wear now, so that's all very tight and it will block lymph nodes. So the last thing I do a lot of is hot and cold. So infrared saunas with cold plunging is probably like heaven for the lymphatic system. But even if you have a shower, always finishing with cold at the end, that will also, you have to breathe. When you put that cold on, you're breathing, so you are moving your lymphatics. So these are a few little helpful tips, and we all need help with the lymphatic system because we all are exposed to so much toxic waste, and this system is not thought about enough. And I've just noticed some of personal skin problems have been improving the more I've been really focusing on this system. And that's why I just brought some herbs in, because I just wanted another level of support, because I've got a lot of the foundational stuff part of my daily lifestyle now. And that's what it is. It's about sort of seeing yourself how you're going to incorporate one more of these little helpful tips into a lifestyle to make it your body feel better. You'll find you'll have more energy, you'll find your skin will look more beautiful, but ultimately your body will have better composition and be more toned, because you've got less fluid or inflammation in the body. The immune system's obviously going to be much more optimal if you've got a healthy flowing lymphatics. All right, please, if you have questions, let me know, but hopefully this was helpful. Okay, have a lovely day. Bye.